Let's talk about this. Are people equally worthy, or are some people better than other people? This is an important question. And only if we ask these questions, we find the answers. What do you think about this topic? I've thought about it many years because I could not get this. I was not understanding how we are equally worthy, and I resonated deeply with these words when I heard these now I'm not remembering exactly the words, but when I heard about we are equal, I resonated with that. But on the same time, I saw how differently people are treated, how differently people behave in certain situations. Some people are very kind, some are not very kind, some people are very rich, some people are not as rich, and that can change in every moment. But the important thing is how do we define worth? And is there a common sense? And I found an answer. And the answer I found was, there is not one worthiness. There is not one kind of self-worth. There are two different kinds of self-worth. Because yes, we are equally worthy. We are expressions of life. We all have the capacity to love, to feel joy, and we are infinitely worthy beings. Our worth is not measurable, so we cannot compare. There is no sense in that. But on the other side, there is also a different kind of self-worth, and that is related to success. That is related to money, that is related to how somebody looks, how intelligent somebody is. And people have mixed these two kinds of self-worth together, and many people forgot about the natural kind of self-worth and were only focused about this success self-worth, and were trying to define themselves through this. And it is important that we see that we are always infinitely worthy beings, and there are differences, and it is important that we allow ourselves to see these differences, because we don't want to invite somebody into our house who has committed a crime, maybe, for example, or so we need to see the differences, and we need to judge in a way, but we don't have to hold on to these judgments so hard, because we don't know what we did maybe in a past life. So I believe we had past lives, and I think nobody can say I'm sure I was not there and I've not done things like that. How? How can somebody be sure? And we have all made mistakes, and it is not necessary to judge people too hard, but judgments are necessary as well and have a value as well. So it is important that we see both. We see the value in the differences and in the judgments, and we see that even if somebody has not developed his or her full potential, that does not mean that this person will not be the greatest leader or the greatest superstar, whatever, in the world, because a seed of an apple tree can become this whole tree. And we can ask the question, is a tree more worthy than the sprout of the tree? Are children better than old people? Are old people better than adults? These are crazy questions, but it is good if we think about this. And if we find that equality, I hope I say it right, in our worthiness as human beings, and if we see that being a human being means we are incredibly worthy by nature, we don't have to do anything for that. And if somebody loses its path, maybe through going in a wrong direction, this soul makes the experience of knowing so much better what it wants, and is more committed to the right path after that. But we have a limited perspective, because many people have a limited perspective because they focus only on one lifetime and they don't see the whole picture, how this soul is developing. And souls have a different age. And there are these younger souls who are not behaving that conscious and that kindly, and we don't have to judge them as hard, but that does not mean not putting up boundaries. It does not mean we should not take consequences. Yes, it is important to set the boundaries and to take the consequences and to teach these younger souls in adults' bodies what not to do, and to show them where the boundaries are, and that if they do things that are not good, that this has a consequence. But we don't have to judge them as hard. And we don't have to believe that they are not as worthy only because they are small seeds and make mistakes. if a child is hurting his mother, we don't judge that child as hard, right? Because we know this child has not as much awareness about what it is doing as an adult, and younger souls also don't have as much awareness about how to behave and how not to behave as older souls. This is important that we keep this in mind if we talk about how worthy a human being is, because so many people say, oh, you're wonderful, but you're not better than anybody, than the other people. But why not switch that and put it in a positive way and say, you are wonderful and the other people are also as wonderful as you are. I would like that more if we think that way. And it is important and necessary that we judge the behavior of people. But the behavior of people is not their true being. We have an inner being, all of us. And this inner being is not our personality. And this inner being is always pure. It is always love. We are this always. And we are all infinitely worthy, always. Have a nice day.